Hello everyone, welcome to this video where we are going to dive into count cover building. To just summarize what has been said here is you have points which are actually considered building, and a building is considered cover if you have at least one element above him, one below, one to the left and one to the right. That is why this one is cover. Let me give you an example where we have more elements. In this scenario, we can see that this is actually cover because we have one up, one left, and at least one right. So this one is cover. Now this one is not cover because there's no one above him, even though there are elements in the left and the right. This one is cover for the same reason as this one was cover. So this is the idea. And the easiest way to approach this is to, for each of the row and the column, keep the minimum and the maximum. And if you can keep the minimum and the maximum of each one column, now for each of the point, you're just going to verify if that element on the row is between the minimum and the maximum, and on the column is between the minimum and the maximum, then it's correct. This point is actually between the minimum and the maximum of this row that is belong to, and this point is also between the minimum, the maximum and the minimum of this column that is belong to. And that is how you're going to define a data structure that will help you to solve this. This is the idea behind solving this. Now when it comes to implementation of that, I decided to go with a combination of map and map and pair. So the idea for me is say, okay, I have a couple of row and column. In the row X, in the row I will just put it this way, I'm going to keep the minimum and the maximum as a pair. That is my idea. So how do I do that? I'm going to check, okay, is the row that I'm trying to fill has any element? If it has no element, that means actually the first element that I want to insert in the row will be the minimum and the maximum. And then in a row, what you put is actually X element. X for me is actually those elements. So in the row, you put a value, X value. So this first row is going to have initially 1, 1. When I'm going to add this one, this row is going to have 1, 2. And when I'm going to add this one, this row is going to have 1, 3. Okay, that is the idea, and the same for the column. And after this, you are going to have a data structure where each of the row and column can clearly give you the information of the minimum and the maximum. Now what you do is that you will loop again through the various elements, and for each of the element you just check, okay, element X is actually this guy. This element 2 for instance, is it between the minimum and the maximum of the row where he belongs? Yes. Is it between the maximum and the minimum of the column where he belongs? Yes. Then he's covered. That is the idea. And you can decide any data structure you want to use, but the idea will stay the same. So let us submit and give it a try. Okay, perfect. We can see that it's working pretty well. So this is my approach of solving this. I hope you do enjoy it. Feel free to give me any feedback. I'll be really happy to interact with you regarding this. See you tomorrow. Ciao.